friends. It's time for a special episode. It's also Flossmas Day 29 and a WIP parade. A WIP parade. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. WIP parade part 1. How is everybody today? It is Tuesday, December the 29th. I am Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher. You are here for a Flosstube extra video as part of my 31 days of Flossmas filming to see part 1 of my WIP parade. It is WIP parade season, everyone. And that means exciting videos, movie-length videos, enablement, get your pen, your paper, and I'm not just talking about mine, I'm talking about everyone I've watched so far. I've paused, add that to my wish list, pause, add that to my wish list. I've been good so far and not bought a single thing. So, it is rather early on this Tuesday morning. It is Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's about 9:30 my time. I decided to get up. I did my hair for ya. I put on a shirt. I will tell you, I am the walking definition of a 2020 mullet. Business up on top, party down below, aka I still have on my pajama pants. Yeah, that's how I roll. I've got 3 piles of WIPs on this side, some buckets on this side to collect. We're going to hope this does not turn into a tremendous train wreck. If it does, it goes along with this year. I'm going to attempt to tell you as we go along which projects are part of my WIP Go 2021 board. I did post that over on my Instagram. So if you are interested in seeing what I'm planning to work on in 2021 as kind of my focus pieces, that would be awesome. WIP Go is the amazing, incredible idea that Jessie Marie of Jessie Marie Does Stuff came up with. And this is year 2 of her having a Facebook group. It's fantastic. There are tons of people jumping on board. It is not too late. You can join mid-year. You can change your board up. You do you. That's her whole thing. It's sweet-wee, as she says. Stitch what you want when you want. But it is nice to have somebody else saying, okay, here are 2 projects to work on. So I am going to share that with you. Tomorrow's video, I think I have slotted with less WIPs to show. And I'll also talk about a couple of New Year plans that I have thinking out and some other fun stuff. So, with that being said, let's get rolling with this. Again, I'm Annie Joy-Filled Stitcher. This is my channel about cross stitch. If you showed up upon this video, just, I don't know. Oh, disclaimer. I really shouldn't have to say this because we are all adults and we are all fully capable of keeping our opinions to ourselves. If you think it's ridiculous that I have as many WIPs as I do, it's okay. That's your opinion. But I don't. I started the things when I wanted to start them. They'd been kitted. They've been started. Now I'm going to work on them over time. My hair is extra poofy today. And last year, I remember from my WIP parade, I had one WIP parade video. It was over 2 hours long. That's why this one is going into 2 because I have more. I will give you a total tomorrow because I truly don't know my total right now. I had in October, on October the 14th, I counted. I had 134. But I have finished some things and started a couple of things. So I'm somewhere in the over 100, 120-ish range. It is what it is, folks. If you want to see some projects, some cool stuff, if you need something to have where you can just start it and not worry about it, it will be ad-free. So this is an hour or more of viewing pleasure ad-free. Thank you to the folks who have been buying me a fancy floss. That helps to make us ad-free. On Friday, I will run off a laundry list of all the so many people who have shared with me a fancy floss. So, let's get going. So, I'm going to try to go in chronological order. We'll see how that goes. I'll also try to show you if they are in fancy bags, what the fancy bag is. This is my oldest WIP. This lives in a So Much to Love project bag. The reason why I've not pulled all this out and all of that is truly, that makes my head hurt about having to put it all back and it having it scattered all over. So yes, there's going to be a lot of zipping and unzipping. I know that's going to add extra time. Feel free to, you know, move that little bar until you get to a place you like and you see a project flash. This holds the blue flower, not acorn drum, autumn drum. I started this on October 1st of 2019. This is an exclusive chart to Acorns and Threads. I believe you can still get the chart. I purchased it as a kit, and it's on some beautiful 40 count lakeside linen. It was my first 40 count piece, and it came with all the silks, beautifully carded up with the symbols. And I am just stitching the top of the drum, and the reason behind that is she has released another really cool chart recently that has the acorns with the squirrels and like a saying that I love. And so I'm going to stitch the top of this, and I don't have much left to do. So I just need to get my booty in gear and get it finished. But it is 40 count. It's beautiful. It's a lakeside linen. It was fantastic to start as my first 40 count. It does have some over one, which I will do last and make sure I have really good lighting. I have not gotten to the point yet in my 40 years of age that I need readers. But that's possibly coming in my future. You never know. So that's my oldest WIP. This is my second oldest WIP, and that is where that will end. This is from October. I did not start this on the 13th. I started this on October the 26th. And this is my ink Circles Rosetta. And I know there's a lot of you out there that love it when I pull this chart out. I adore this. This is one that I am doing in a rainbow of amazing Gentle Arts colors. And this is on 20 count Opalescent Ada and Snert from Mystic Fabrics. And I have nearly the third medallion complete. And I will quickly show you my awesome colors from Gentle Arts. They're not my colors, they're their colors. But I basically went to the floss wall at my LNS and pulled all the beautiful flosses. So it's going to be a rainbow of awesome jewel tones. And all of the borders are going to be in cinders. And I have it in this beautiful, it's like an Amazon project pouch, but it has vinyl on it it is well with my soul. And so one of my awesome Flosstube friends sent this to me. And so I thought that was the perfect project. So that one plays a big part on my WIP Go board this year. My WIP Goes are focused on numbers of days. That one I have slotted for 21 days in 21. Autumn Drum, I don't think is on there because I think I can get that finished in less than 7 days, and that is my lowest amount of days is 7. All right, next up, I started this on December 1st, 2019. This is My Big Toe Designs Prince of Peace. It's a beautiful chart. It's got a lot of fun. Stitch in 2 colors. It's got a lot of fun, intricate, kind of monochromish looking stuff. I'll get my words right, I promise. And this is on a gorgeous piece of Under the Sea fabrics. It's a 36 count linen. I ironed nothing, so if it's wrinkly, it's wrinkly. And this is in the colorway Autumn. And I purchased this linen as well as the chart and the 2 colors of Gentle Arts flosses from Stitches from the Heart in San Antonio, which sadly has I think officially gone out of business. But they are still posting to their Facebook page, and they love to share freebies. So I would say go give them some love over there. Let me see if Prince of Peace. I truly can't remember what all is on my WIP Go board. That is not on my WIP Go board. All right, so then I have a slew of Barbara Annas. They're going to kind of come in order-ish. The first of which is Autumn Keeper. And this is a super fun design, Autumn Keeper. And I am stitching this on 40 count linen from XG Designs in Little Bunny. And so I have a fair amount of progress on it. It's just in the called for DMC. She has a fantastic eye for color. She also uses a lot of the same DMC colors. She kind of has her favorites. And so it makes it nice that like all my Barbara Annas are pretty much, except the big ones, are pretty much in this bag with the DMC, which is really nice. I have another one that's from her that I started. So Autumn Keeper I started on December 3rd of 2019. So it just celebrated a birthday. This is Holy Night, also from Barbara Anna Designs. This is from the 2019 Christmas Winter issue of Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine. And this is on a piece of 18 count vintage country mocha. And that is where it is for right now. I am also doing this one in the called for DMC. It doesn't have much left, actually. It's got the detailings of the houses. There's one more. No, excuse me. There's a little bit more of the houses to do in a different color. There's some detailing with the houses. And then there's the stars and Santa and his sleigh. So not too terribly much more, but it's a fun little stitch to have around to break up the monotony of the big stitches. So this one I started on December 6th. So then we're going to take a break from this little bag for a minute. I'm coming back to it in just a second. Next up, we have a start that I did on 12/8/19. And this is from Heartstring Sampler. This is a terrible copy, but this is WIP It Good. So last year, she put this out as a charity chart for food insecurity charities in her area. And the proceeds from it went to that charity. So I purchased it and started it like the day I purchased it. I have subsequently purchased this year's chart, which I don't think I have a picture of, but it's called Hoop It Up, and it also is going to that charity. So I would recommend running over if you like it. This is on a 20 count Ada from Barbara Owl Creations. You can find her on Etsy. And this is in the color light beige. I stitched the words in a color of Victorian Motto. This is 1/1. It's 20 count 1/1. And then the motifs will be in this kind of really pretty rosy red pink. So I love this stitch. I need to put some more time in this. You're going to hear that a lot. This is also going to give me an opportunity to look at some of these and decide if I'm going to keep them or not. Because there's a few that I have been sitting on the shelf that when I pulled them out today, I'm like, I haven't touched that in a really long time. This pouch, beautiful sleeve, is from my dear friend Kathy, who has been watching me since the very beginning, and I shared with her how I did my pouches, and she made me 2 and sent them to me. So this is one of them. I think the other one is maybe not in today's video. It might be in tomorrow's video, or it may have something that's kitted in it. All right, so next up, after WIP It Good, was a start that I did on December the 8th, also on the 8th. I had some duplicate days. You're going to hear it. And this is from the Christmas Ornament issue 2017 of Just Cross Stitch magazine. My Big Toe Designs. This is a Savior Has Been Born ornament. So again, I love the ornaments. I'm doing it in the called for Gentle Arts. Beautiful jewel tones. And then this is on 36 count Colonial Parchment from Hand Dyed by Stephanie. And this is where I am. I did work on this on its birthday. Everything that you've seen so far, I've worked on its birthday this year. And I love that. And this is Cinders, so you can see that pop of the reddish color. Love this one. And like I said, I love having some of the smaller ones because they're great to take with me for lunchtime stitching. All right, also in this bag is something I started on the 11th of December 2019. And that is Home for Christmas, which is Souvenirs of the Heart. This is by Brenda Gervais. This is on 18 count sterling Ada from Picture This Plus. I just showed this recently because I had pulled it out for its birthday, and I put in some more detailing. This is so cute. I actually have Autumn and Amana started. I started that in September or October, so that one will be in tomorrow's video. And then I have the kind of more patriotic one that will get started when one of those is finished. All right, so that's that bag. And I'm not going super in detail unless there's something specific like the flosses were a change or something like that. If there's any questions you have about anything that I've shown that maybe I didn't go into super good detail, leave me a comment below and I will either address it in a future video or respond back to you. I'll probably respond back to you and address it in a future video. All right, so next up, go back to the bucket, is another small. I started this one on December 15th of 2019. It's from Hands On Design. I just showed this one recently also. This is Deer Tier, which is part of their White Christmas series. There are some others in this series that I really like, but I can't obviously start them until I finish this one. Mostly the called for or close. And this is on a 16 count Picture This Plus in Nessie. And I have quite a bit of it done. There's not too terribly much left to do. So yeah, I like how the white is showing up on here. On my 18 counts, typically, unless I state otherwise, I stitch 2 strands of floss. 20 count is my tipping point. And I know there's been some folks that have asked me that question in the past. And so I thought I'd say that. Just pretty much, unless I say otherwise, it's 2 strands on 18 or lower. And then 20 count is where I go to 1 strand. Same really holds true for when I'm on linen as well. All right, so next up, this was another start on the 15th of last year. So December 15th, 2019. This is from, sorry, my hand's all shaky, Little Room in the Attic. You can find them on Etsy. And this is called Mouse King and Queen. This is on a 28 count Monaco. It's just called Even Weave, but it's by Garibaldi's Needlework. I was gifted this beautiful piece of fabric from Jen Upton when I had said I had never stitched on Even Weave. And this is one of those kind of Russian, Eastern European designers that has a lot of backstitch, a lot of blends, fractionals. So this is where I am so far. Anything that you see that is a half stitch, that will remain a half stitch. So far, it's super fun. And this is in the color Lapis. I don't think I said that. Garibaldi's Needlework, 28 count Even Weave in Lapis. So, and it does call for French knots. I can't figure out French knots or colonial knots. And so I will probably be subbing beads, but I'm nowhere close. And this isn't a pouch I made. This is my Bat Birds pouch because the birds are upside down on one side. Yep, Bat Birds. Okay, so next up we have one that actually got a restart. The original start date on this was December 16th, 2019. I restarted it on a new piece of fabric during Jolly Joy-Filled WIP July, which was in July. But I'm going to still show it to you right now because originally in my spreadsheet that I'm referencing down here, it says December. So this is Celebrate Christmas by Madame Chantilly. Let me take it out of this bag. I have a bag and a bag and a bag and a bag. So Celebrate Christmas by Madame Chantilly. It's the tiered tray. There's so many others of these that I love. But you know, it's deceptive. You think, oh, that looks so small. No, this is like an 11 by 14 frame. It's huge. But that's okay. It's super fun. I love all the little motifs and working on those. This is on a 32 count Lugana from Seraphim Fabrics in, I believe the color is Mayday. And so that's what I've got so far. I did some color converting on this to just what I had in stash. And so that's what I have so far. what I had started on was a piece of linen, and it was very loose, and I didn't like it. I have come to the decision that I don't mind linen if it's more of a stiffer linen. I cannot do the loosey-goosey linens. All right, so we're trucking along pretty well here. Let's see. Next up is, I'm going to take a sip of my water. I brought my big water. I showed this fairly recently, but I've put in some work on it since I showed it. I do not have a picture other than the tag I made. This is Chicken Joy, which is a freebie from Priscilla of Stitching with the Housewife on her blog. So priscilla2000.blogspot.com. I've learned it from their videos. And so I am stitching this one. I started it on December 23rd last year. This is one of my bag tags. And I did a little bit of some converting on this. This is on a 20 count charcoal Aida that I just got from 123 Stitch. In fact, I just ordered some more because I love it for these designs. And as you can see, I changed up Joy to be in this kind of tealy turquoisey color, which is Color and Cotton Hunter. And then the tree, because we have several pink trees in our house, is in Weeks Dye Works Crepe Myrtle. So that is where I am. As you can see, I'm filling in the tree, and then the last thing I need to do is backstitch the string of lights. So that one's pretty close, and I know how I'm going to finish this one. I got that gorgeous I would say wooden chicken from Scarlet Sky Designs Texas.com, or they're on Etsy. They sent it to me, and this is going to be perfect on there. So we've got Chicken Joy. That, or it'll become part of my Joy quilt, Joy wall hanging quilt thing that I'm making. We'll see. Because I have some other things that could go on the chicken one too. All right, so after Chicken Joy, I'm back to my Barbara Anna bag. And I think it's the last thing I need to show out of this bag. Yes, and I just pulled this out and put some time into it. So it's got some new progress since the last time we saw it together. This is Strawberry Time, which was from the 2019 summer issue of Punch and Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine. Super cute. Crodelia is what I have affectionately named her. Thanks to this, somebody else had named her that. This is on an 18 count mystery Aida from Color and Cotton that I had gotten in a grab bag. And I put in all that greenery. So she's getting close to a finish. She's got one more color of greenery, and then I need to finish out the strawberries, and then she will be complete. She's so cute. My hope would be that some of these that are really close to a finish and just celebrated birthdays, that they don't languish until next year's birthday. Can't guarantee it. And I haven't been updating you on what's on WIP Go. Let's see if anything that I've shown is on WIP Go. I'm managing too many things. I'm managing a list. I'm managing a thing on my phone. So Rosetta is on there. Printed Piece is on there. I just didn't see it. And that's it. So those are the two that I've showed that are on there. But Printed Piece is on there. All right. This one is on WIP Go board because I just saw it. And I started this one on Christmas Eve. So 12/24 of 2019. This is from Little House Needleworks, and this is Bethlehem. This is on an 18 count mystery Aida from Mystic Fabrics. And I thought it was kind of perfect because it looks a little bit like sand to me. And it does have a tiny bit more progress since the last time we saw it. I put in that tea. And it is in pretty much the called for flosses, the only exceptions being I changed up the Angel's Dress to that pink. So yeah. Again, this is one that is on my WIP Go board. It is slotted for 7 days. And 7 days should easily get me a finish on this. I didn't put finish because that set me up, I think, a little bit for failure last year, is that my board was based around finishes. I am focusing more on touching my projects this year, not pushing for finishes. And what I've done is I went through and went, okay, 21 days. Sounds good. It's 21 days in 21, the year 21. And then I went from there and went, okay, well, some projects maybe are going to get 14 days throughout the course of the year. They're for the whole year. So what that means is that's like 2 days a month, and 1 or 2 months get 3 days. 21, you know, that's going to be, no, that's not right. Oh, my math is broken. That's like 1 day a month plus a couple of months get 2 days. That's doable. And then the other ones, the smaller ones, have 7 days. So I don't even have to work on them every month. All right. So then on Christmas Day last year, so on December 25th, I started the 12 Days of Christmas from Satsuma Street. And I started it on 36 count linen. Linen is slow for me, and that's fine. So I finished number 1 on linen. I am doing them as individual, like ornament style. So this is Partridge in a Pear Tree. So that's number 1. And then I went, I'm ready to switch over to some Aida. So I purchased 18 count white Aida. And I have subsequently started the second day. So it's still on the hoop because I'm working on it a little bit. So here's day 2, which is 2 turtle doves. I am nowhere near as amazing as Jenny, Long Dog Stitcher, who stitches something like 14 to 16 of these every year for her nieces and nephews. It's quite incredible. And this is on WIP Go for 14 days. And I'm loving it on the 18 count. And this is in a beautiful, perfectly themed bag from Evertote. It's 12 Days of Christmas. Do you have a question? Oh, okay. Okay, so this was my last start of 2019. So everything you've seen so far are my 2019 that are carrying over. Yeesh. It's a lot. And that is Prairie Birds by Prairie Schooler. And I am not stitching all of them. There are a few that I plan to stitch. I'm going to stitch the Cardinals, which is the one I've started. I'm going to stitch these birds. This one, I believe. I can't remember. I think there's like four to 6 of them that I want to stitch. This is on a 32 count mystery linen from Mystic Fabrics. And this is what I have on that first one, the Cardinals. So I just need to get back to this. It is going to get some time on the 31st because it's its birthday. And theoretically, I'd love to have that first one finished. And then really look at which ones I want to stitch. It's in the called for DMC. This is a Prairie Schooler that I did not change anything with. I know some people are like, I never change Prairie Schooler. Well, if you saw my Christmas Tree Farm, is that what it's called? Christmas Tree Farm? I changed everything about the project. And I love it. I need to figure out a way to finish it. All right, so now we are into our 2020 WIPs. 2020 WIPs. The year where I started out so strong with so few starts, and then it was like, start all the things. Mania opened the door wide open, and you're going to see the Manias, and you're going to see a little bit into Jolly Joyful Whippuli. But tomorrow's video is going to be the remainder of July, August, September, and October, and any few things I've started since October the 14th. All right, so first up, this is from Long Dog Samplers. This is Count Your Blessings. I started this on New Year's last year. It's on 18 count sterling Aida from Picture This Plus. This is where I am. And I love it. I am stitching it in the called for, and I am doing 2 strands. And the called fors are beautiful. I mean, I basically ordered this, like, just ordered it. Like I said, click add all to cart is Gentle Arts. It's a beautiful color palette. And I have this actually, like, if you think you can't fit a big old Long Dog, I mean, it's not that big. It's actually small in the grand scheme of things. If you think you can't fit one in a Garan mini bag, you can. But I don't keep, like, most of my projects I don't keep on the hoop unless I'm actively working on them or on a Q-snap, which I've moved almost completely to hoops now. Okay, so, and that, I'm nearly certain, yes, that is on WIP Go for 14 days. And I'll do a recap on WIP Go if I've forgotten anything. Okay, next up, this also I started on the 1st. This is Great Is Thy Faithfulness by My Big Toe Designs. My word last year, or this year still, is faith. And I'm still working on what my word of the year this year is going to be. But faith has been a very fitting word for this year. This is a beautiful mystery cut of 18 count Ada from Mystic Fabrics. And I have quite a bit done. And I love it. Love it. So I need to get some time in this. I mean, it will get time because its birthday's coming up on the 1st. Same with Count Your Blessings. My pile's getting very tall, but this is the last thing I'm pulling out of this bucket, and then this bucket's going on that side. So the next step, I started the Linens and Threads Mystery Sampler 2020 version on January 4th. This one lives in a bag I created out of one of my stitch projects. This is the Merry and Bright, it was a stitch along, but when I got it, I just got the full chart from Ship's Manor with the, called for Ship's Manor threads. And I finished this in June of 2019, I believe. No. I think I finished it this year, June of 2020. Duh. This is still on the Q-snap. It hadn't been touched in a while. It needs to come out. I mean, it will come out. And I need to figure out what in the world, if I'm going to finish the whole thing, or if I am going to find a way to just make it 2020-esque. Excuse the Q-snap clipping. And make it a partial finish. Like, be like, that's just 2020. Like, stitch a big 2020 and be just done. This on a beautiful piece of mystery linen. I think it's 32 count from Mystic Fabrics. And this is what hold on, let me move this. So I kind of got through April, which April was this amazing giant urn. And then I got burnout. So I did January, February, March. This was April. This was, I think, part of February. And then I came up here to do May. And I didn't even finish that motif. So I need to figure out, I almost feel like I just want to be like, frame it super skinny. Or find a couple of the motifs that are remaining, fill in right here, and just do a long skinny finish. I think that's what I'm going to figure out. Like, do one down here, and something right around in here, and just be done. Because there's some ones that I've seen that are from later on releases that I really liked. So I just need to, I need to put an iron to this because it's been in the Q-stop too long. And I'm stitching this in some beautiful colors of Fancy Flosses. I think it's 6 to be exact. We've got Weeks Dye Works Strawberry Fields, Gentle Arts Cadet. Is that right? Is it Gentle Arts? No. Lies. Weeks Dye Works Cadet. Gentle Arts Tropical Ocean, Gentle Arts Victorian Pink, Gentle Arts Soot, and Gentle Arts Pink Azalea. And as you can see, I have a plethora of others. I don't know why that is in there. Skeina 3031, anyone? Oh, I hear Mr. Joyfield banging around up in the man cave. All right, so let's squeeze this. Because see, like, I don't love that. Love that. That could go, okay, so that's part of May. That could easily fill that space up top. Okay, I'm going to keep this one out separate. This is not on my WIP Go board because I truly was thinking I was just going to ditch it. But I'm going to figure out a way to finish it. And maybe before 2020 is over, if I buckle down. Okay, so where are we? We are moving this bin over. Next up. After that, I started on the 6th. Started a lot of things that like first week of January. This is Sleeping Beauty by Donna Stitch. Find it on Etsy. She has a lot of really fun ones. I am going to attempt Full Coverage Fanatics this year, 21 and 21, which is 21,000 stitches in the year 2021. Because this is considered a full coverage. It's on 18 count, antique white Aida. I think this is all of the outlining in 3808 on that centermost page. And this works with Pattern Keepers. So I'm excited to pull this out. I haven't pulled it out lately because I've already made my post and I wanted to make sure that I didn't add any additional progress to it. But yeah, and this is also on my WIP Go board. I think this one is 21 days. Yeah, slotted for 21 days. All right, here is a stitch along that I did not finish. Shocking. This one I actually started on the 5th, so I'm a little out of order. And this is just one of the months, but this is Animal Almanac from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This was April's release, which I think is the last time I touched this. It's on 18 count snert from Mystic Fabrics. I was doing them as individual ornaments. So I had Aurora the Penguin, Remy the Fox, Lucky the Frog, maybe? And the bunny, I can't remember the bunny's name. And then nothing. So what I need to do is, now that they're all released, I'm going to have Joyful Little One sit down and pick out the few remaining that she just loves and can't live without. Because there's a few that are like, meh. Yes, you can. She's asking if she can give the dog one of his special Advent box treats. And I was like, yes, of course. Just one, though. Have her pick a few. And then I'm going to make it into like a little garland. All right. Next up is... Oh, this one is With Love, and it's the Koala. I started this on January the 11th. It's in my Koala Pop bag. This is an applique pattern that they were doing for charity. It comes from So Quirky, and it's Koala Pop, and I made Elton. So there's Elton and Peaches. I did Elton on this bag. I'm actually going to rework this bag and Merry and Bright into not an envelope bag, because this Velcro came off one of them. It's a big old mess. This is... He probably went back upstairs, honey. So just put it on the counter. This is Frosted Pumpkin Stitcheries With Love. They did this as a charity chart. This is on a mystery linen from Keller & Cotton that I had in my stash that is like the perfect turquoise that they kind of like showed. Mintiness. And so that's what I have. I'm a color completer, and so the way that I was stitching this was color completing. Counting on linen is hard. Some of y'all that stitch on these high count linens, y'all are fantastic. What I need to do is go in and just put some more time in it and get it finished. It's not that big of a stitch. Come on, Annie. Get it together. All right, next up, I started on February 6th, and I was trucking along on these and keeping on top of it, and then the world fell apart, friends. So, these are the Square Dance. So, I have finished January, February, March. I believe I finished April, May, June. So, I have left July, August, September, and October, November, December. Now, I will tell you, I think also what threw me for a wrench in the works is July is fish, and I was not feeling the fish. So I was trying to figure out if there was something else I could do for that. So, and typically what I would do is I would print out a copy of the chart and color it, because I changed the colors on a lot of them. Well, so anywho, I need to just get back to it because I love this series. They're so cute. And I have some of the Christmas ones, but I feel like I can't start them. This is on an 18 count mystery Ada from Mystic Fabrics. This was during my Mystic Fabrics days when I started everything on Mystic Fabrics. So there's January, February, March. So January, February, March. April, and I did heirloom carrots. So I did all colors of carrots. May, and then June with the fun bright popsicles. So I need to bring this one back out. I need to figure out what I'm going to do for July and or skip it momentarily and move on because I know what I'm doing for the other months. I haven't shown you any bags in a while because most of these are in this kind of bag. I have a bunch of pouches that are currently empty that I just need to shuffle some projects around in. So that can happen soon. All right, next up, this lives in a pouch that I got off a seller on Etsy. I'm not sure. And this holds Jane Marshall, 1869, I believe. No, 1857. It's from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. This was one that they released as a PDF only chart for the Australian bushfire relief. And this is on, what is this on? I haven't had this out in a while either. I don't see a tag anywhere. I think it's just a mystery cut from, again, Mystic Fabrics. I'm doing it in a mixture of silks from Thread Pickers, Dinky Dyes, and Mrs. Sadas. So I kind of pulled flosses from my stash, silks actually, excuse me, that were close to the called for. I was not quick enough to get the Mrs. Sadas pack. This is a 32 count linen. And I have the row of numbers. Goes up to 13, my lucky number. This row, and then I started with Jane Marshall. I have not had this out in forever. I need to get this out again. I mean, obviously it'll come out on its birthday, but that's a while until its birthday. I started this on February 14th for a Galentine's start. Galentine's Day start. All right, so then I went a bit of time, not really, and I started for Aaron 2 Martini Stitcher's Stitch Along, Long Dog Week Day start. I started Seeking Solace. Then I did a restart on New Fabric in September. No, August. But this is the chart that I am doing. It's Seeking Solace. It's part of the collection 2017 that you can find on her website. It's about 9 different charts together. When I started it, my Ada was very loose. That was the first concern that I did not like. And I decided I didn't really want to spend all my time on this deco border. It's beautiful, but that's not what my eye was drawn to. I'm more drawn toward the centers and all the awesome stuff. So I switched it over to a 20 count Ada from Color and Cotton in light brown sugar. And I did a color conversion to things from Stash. So, really fun, bright. And then I decided to do the lettering in this bright, hot pink. A lot of those are Victorian Motto. There's, I think, some Gentle Arts in there. This is what I have so far. My goal is, I think it's 8 pages. So, if I want to finish this by the next leap year, which is in 2024, I need to do 2 pages a year. So I need to finish off page 1, which is not too far from being finished, and start on page 2 and finish that. It languished a lot. I didn't work on it every month on the 29th. I've been really good about that. In fact, I need to keep this out because it needs to be worked on today. Today's 29th. So yeah, let me put this over with the needs to be worked on soon. Hey, today. All right, so then I did a little spin on March Madness, which is Jen Lee Quirks and Stitches does March Madness instead of Mania. And I kind of let y'all pick on some of them if I was going to work on a WIP and I pitted it against a new start, kind of in a bracket system. So this was picked as a new start on March 1st. This is Plum Street Sampler Lesson 4. I love this one. And I started this on a 25 count Lugana, 1/1. This is an Ash Rose Lugana. I think I got this on 1-2-3 stitch. And so this is what I have so far. So I've pulled this out a few times since I started it. That grass, I'm going to do, I believe, a mixture of full cross and Smyrna cross. And so, yeah. And this one was one I purchased off of like a stash and load, and it came with the called for flosses on a card like this. So I think they're mostly classic colorworks. And it actually also came with the finishing chenille. So yay. This is in a pouch I sewed up with some old Alexander Henry fabric that I've had for a really long time in my stash. All right. Next up, I started 2 in a row. No, I'm sorry. The next one I had on here, I just finished, so I got to mark that one out. And then I have 2 in here that were kind of not back-to-back starts. I started one on March 30th. This was a Be Well and Stitch. This is from Barbara Anna Designs. It's called Light. This is in a Diana. It is Kismet Stitches bag. It's gorgeous, this William Morris fabric. And I am stitching this. This was another one I did on 25 count 1/1. This is what I have so far. I love it. It looks like a painting on the 1/1. This is, I'm looking to see if I have the fabric info. 25 count Stormy, I think it's Stormy Night. Yeah, Stormy Night Lugana. So there's that. And then also in this bag was one I started on April 3rd. And I don't have a finished one of this, but this was another Be Well and Stitch from the Blue Flower. This is Let Joy Be Unconfined. This is on an 18 count. I think it's a mystery from Mystic Fabrics. And I am stitching this with kind of my own palette of colors that are close to the called for. I did this one from Stash, so I've worked on that a little bit. I need to put some more time in it. I think this is one of those, let me see. I thought this was one I was doing with 1 strand, but I think this is actually 2. So, 2 projects live in that bag. Kind of my Be Well and Stitch ones. All right, next up we had, I started this Easter week. My bucket is hard to reach into where it is. I'll move it down. This is my first Mirabilia start, and this is Gathering Eggs. This I think was originally featured in a magazine. It's a little bit of a different style than, you know, the Fancy Ladies, but I love her. I think she's adorable. The colors are super fun. I put them on little homemade floss cards so you can see lots of fun, bright colors. It's on 32 count Storm Lugana from Picture This Plus. And it's got quite a bit of it that's like full coverage. And that's what I have so far. So super fun. I haven't had this out in a while. I need to get this back out soon. Because I love it. It's so good. This is my first mirror. It's a little bit of a different take on a mirror. Alright, and then my Easter Day start is Bent Creek Easter Bunny Row. And I am doing it more similar to Priscilla's. And I actually printed out a copy of it and then colored it in. And this is on 18 count Be Stitch Me Artemis. Isn't it so fun? Look at that bunny. And the little chickies. So cute. So yeah. I'm excited about some of these coming up, you know, in the subsequent months of 2021. I think this one might be on WIPCO. Let's do a WIPCO check-in, since I've forgotten to look and my phone went back to sleep again. Makeup please, thank you. Okay, so the light is on there for 7 days. I'm looking to see if there's anything else I've shown. Seeking Solace is on there for 14 days. So far, I've shown everything else I've talked about. All right, next up, this one lives in a bag I made using Helen D's tutorial. This is Lone Star Stitchers. This is from Twin Peaks Primitives, and it was for our Stitchy retreat, Stitchy get-together that got canceled and rescheduled and canceled and rescheduled. I think it's been rescheduled for April of this year with hopes that it will actually happen. This is on, what is this on? I think it's another piece of that 16 count Nessie, and I pulled some of my colors, and I have the border. You know, I've done some of the white of the flowers. All the bottom of the cone flowers are done, the gold part, and then this is tint stitch, so it will show up better, but I was just placing some stitching in there. So, yay. This is not on WIPCO. You know, with 25 spaces and 4 times that many projects, they're not all going to make it. This one I started on April the 25th. Oh, excuse me. I started Lone Star Stitcher on April the 21st. This one I started on April the 25th. It lives in my Golden Girls bag that I made from a t-shirt. And this is Mary Eliza McMillan, 1869, by Hand Processy Samplers. It's a beautiful chart. I did a conversion to Fancy Flosses from my stash. So really pretty. It's based off of what they're called for MPIs are, but I just used ones from my stash. And this is on Color and Cotton 36 count linen in Love Letter, which was a fabric of the month. And this is what I have so far. It's very pretty. And I think I'm using 1 strand on this 36. Yes, I'm using 1 strand of floss. Love this. So fun. I need to spend some more time on this. That's what she says about everything. Y'all are probably like, yeah, you said that 100 times. All right. So, we're getting close to Mania, or we might be at Mania now. We are at Mania. And this is the first question mark project. So, I started this on May 1st for Mania. This is Berry Bowl Sampler by Heartstring Sampler and the Scarlet House. In the called for, or if I didn't have the called for, it was close. I might have just done this from Stash Plus. I even went through and pieced my fabric. It's 32 count Lugana in Fog and Shale, I believe. Yeah, Fog and Shale. I finished the over 1 in the center, the cartouche. I think that's what you call it. And then I've started 1 basket. I'm just not sure about it, guys. So, this is going to be a question mark. It continues to be a question mark. I think it's a beautiful chart. I'm just not, like, dying to want to pull it out to stitch on it. I don't know. Okay, we're going to put this in the question mark pile, where it's been for months, it seems. All right, next up on the 4th of May, I started from Cherry Hill Stitchery, Bloom. This has been out actually rather recently. It's on 25 count Lugana from Be Stitch Me in Granite. And I'm doing it 2/2. So super fun. And then the needle minder is from Mad for Minders. We're approaching an hour. And we're just now in Mania. Mania! Alrighty, here we go. So then on the 6th of May, pardon me. Good deal. I had a little iPad written message to me that said, Daddy's going on a plumbing call. It takes 30 minutes to get there. He'll be gone about 2 hours. Thank you. You're a good messenger. All right. So next up, I started on, I think I said the 6th. This is Theresa Koget's Pray. Love it. I bought this at the Stitch Niche. It was a last minute, like the models on the wall purchase. This is on a 28 count even weave. It's a rose color. It's not a hand dyed. I purchased it off of a stash and load seller. And this is what I have so far. It is like a full coverage. It's gorgeous though. I love how her face, from up close when you're working on it, you're like, how are these colors going to work together? And then when you look at it from back here, you're like, oh, that's how. There are some mistakes in this, but I wasn't going to rip them out. We're going to roll with it. I think the idea is still there. I think it's still beautiful. I think there's a couple of the angels from the angel card that I wish she would do in cross stitch. Okay, and I realized in the majority of my videos lately, I have not given anybody a hug. So we're going to take a hug break. So are you ready for a hug? Here we go. And give one to yourself. Okay, so next up, back to the WIPs. This I started on May 7th. This is from Modern Folk Embroidery. And a terrible piece of printout here. This is Spring Dance. Super fun. I am stitching this on what? What is this on? Why do I not have it written down anywhere? I'm gonna get fired from my own project keeping. Wait, maybe it's on here. Oh, 18 count mummy. It's on there. 18 count mummy from Be Stitch Me. And I am stitching it with a silk from Silks for You and PR052. It's beautiful. You can see. And I braided it to keep it all nice. I shouldn't be touching these silks. My hands are like crocodile hands right now from just how dry it is. This is so pretty. And that's what I have so far. I need to pull this one out soon. I haven't had this one out in a while. It's fun. I love the monochromes. Quite a few of them. Alrighty, let's put this janky piece of paper back in here. I need to make a new printout and put it in a sleeve to make it nice. The more I do this, the more my shirt keeps getting all funny business around the neck, and it's bothering me. There we go. Ooh, there's some silk that is scapade. Not that I don't have enough, but let's keep the silk in the bag. All right, more zipping, more zipping. All right, next up we have, oh, we're on another page. Reflect Blessings, which is from Hands On Designs. I started this on May 9th. It's on a mystery 18 count Ada from Mystic Fabrics. And that is what I have. And that is maybe one day of work. This is pitiful. In fact, I think I'm putting this one in the I'm not sure because I don't love it on that fabric. So that's going in the I'm not sure pile. And then I have another one that's also from Hands On Designs. And this was started on May 10th. This is Smallest Seed. This is on that same fabric. But I don't mind it so much. So Rooted Firm is what I have, and then some of the motifs. I'm still not loving it. I'm putting in the question mark pile. All right, that is the end of that bucket. I need to do a tiny bit of organization. I have an iPad with a comment on it. I need to take a potty break, and I will be right back, folks. Alrighty, folks, I am back. We have taken a brief intermission. I have the remainder of my Mania starts, and my one, I think I had one June start this year, and then that's, I think, going to be it for this video. And then I'll film some more tomorrow, kind of July up to today, along with plans, because I do have a New Year, New Start, I think, if it gets here. The Little Stitcher, The Wizard of Oz. This is on Etsy, if you are interested in it. And I started this one on May the 12th. This is on a 32 count Lugana in I think it's barn board check is what it's called. And I have a pretty good amount done. I have my Mad for Minders, Dorothy, hanging here, holding her place until she gets stitched in. And then the rest of the words up top, the Cowardly Lion, Dorothy, of course. I think Toto's in here too. Then there's a little bit of Yellow Brick Road and some, I think there's the words, There's No Place Like Home towards the bottom. So anyway, super cute. I love it on the gingham. That was kind of a wild card start on that and didn't know if I was going to like it or not. And I love it. So that worked out. It was a win-win. Stitching it in the called for DMC, or a close substitute, because if I didn't have it, it got whatever was close or that I liked on that fabric. All right, so then on May 13th, I started a project. It lives in this beautiful pouch. Beautiful not because I made it, beautiful because this fabric is insanely gorgeous. It's a coffee facette, or I don't know how you pronounce it. This is Plum Street Samplers Shepherd's Pie. So this was a Nashville release. I bought it at Market Day. I didn't start it on Market Day, but I did buy it at Market Day at my local needlework shop. And this is on a piece of 36 count linen from Lakeside Linens. I think it's in vintage, vintage brown sugar. So I just pulled this out not too long ago, and I think that I'm either going to do the grass all in tint stitch, or, because it's just solid stitch. And I think I'm doing that in the DMC. I only pulled in some of the main, like kind of the colors that I wanted to be the feature. There's a few. I think most of it is in just DMC, the DMC conversion. So the grass might just end up being tint stitch, or I might do a combination of the regular stitch and Smyrna. I saw that idea when Michelle Garrett, Bindi Stitchy, was stitching a bunch of snow. She put in some Smyrnas, and I thought that was really nice because one, it gave a texture, and two, it, minimizes the amount of stitching, the amount of just solid stitching. So anyway, love that project. Super fun. Next up, I started this one on the 14th of May. It lives in another one of my project pouches. This is Lizzie Kate's Cherish All Living Things, and this one has a bit of a story behind it. I had started this one back like when it was released, which I think was like 99 or 2000, like very late 90s, early 2000s, when I was kind of a newish stitcher. And I had started it on, yes, I still have it, a piece of like some Witchelt linen. There are quite a number of stitchy things that I did then that I don't do now. Namely, I was stitching with far too many strands of floss. It's lumpy, it's bumpy. Every time I would go up a row, I reversed my stitch instead of starting in the top corner. So, and I would count down, like I would find center and then count down instead of just starting, or being a center starter. I'm keeping that for posterity. So I restarted it, this time on a piece of Ada. I could have done it with the linen and with the called for flosses. I was doing a conversion on this, and the conversion was bonkers. I had most of the called for, so I went ahead and swapped back to that. This is, I want to say this is an 18 count Be Stitch Me. I can't remember what it is. I think it's just a mystery And so I have put in more time into this. I finished out the mountain scene, stitched in things, put in some of the detailing up here. This is a really fun stitch. So yeah. I love Lizzie Kate. It's like it harkens back to my times. I've asked my mom if I can come and take pictures of all of my pillows and stuff that I made her in the past, and she said yes. So yay. All right, so next up, I started this one on the 15th of May. And so part of Mania. This is Jardin Privé, Quaker de la Ferme. I love this, but I don't know that I'm going to continue with this. I've pulled it out like 2 or 3 times since then and just have not felt compelled. I don't know if it's the fabric. I'm not sure. This is on an 18 count Aida from Picture This Plus in Earthen. The floss that I am using is Color and Cotton Adobe. So, I mean, I love that together. I just am not feeling called to the project anymore. So, I'm going to put it in my question mark pile down there. So far, it's not so bad. Last year, when I had my question mark pile, it was, like, ridiculous. Like, way ridiculous. I feel like I've been more intentional with my starts this year and not just started all things. I think I'm also honing in on what I really like. So, this was a start during Mania on the 17th. This is the Garden Club series. I am doing 4 of the charts. I am doing Basket of Cherries, Apple Orchard, Butterfly Garden, and Fairy Garden. Sorry, that was my jaw. It's been very tight lately. And this is on an 18 count Aida from Color and Cotton. I'm looking to see if I have the information. I think it's on Spectre. S-P-E-C-T-R-E. It was the color, fabric of the month. So I'm working on Basket of Cherries, and there's not too much more in that to finish. I love this. And I love the kind of random specialty stitches, like there's the Smyrna crosses in the basket that give it extra texture. Some of these smaller cherries are satin stitched. I haven't gotten any of those yet. So yeah, and I just pulled from Stash. And when I pulled these colors, I was doing like 6 or more of these charts. I think I was doing 6 or 8. And so there's some colors in here I don't think I'll actually get to. But how beautiful. Because I didn't have all the gentle arts, but I have quite a swath of other fancy flosses. All right. Oh, I got to pull this little pile towards me. We're getting close. We're getting close, folks. All right, so next up, I started this one on the 18th. This lives in a Pineapple House bag. It's from Cassandra Martinez. I think she puts them mostly up on her Instagram, CN Martinez. This is Little House Needleworks Blessed is the Life. It's on an 18 count Aida from Oksana. You can find her on Stash Unloading Cross Stitch Only on Facebook. It's just a really pretty neutral. And I have nearly this entire half complete. And I did a full conversion. I did all kinds. I brought in lots more colors because the original does not call for very many. So yeah, I have a whole conversion for this one. My only thing I don't love is I don't super love the windows and I don't mind the roof, but I don't really super love the windows. So I might be pulling that out, or I might wait until it's complete because that's going to be on both sides, I think. So yeah, I have the other half and then a little bit more on this side to stitch. I love this one. And I love this bag. Look at the back. Oh, it's so pretty. I love the smaller size bags. I wish more makers would make them. I'd buy more of them because I like the little half size. That's why I love me a Diana bag. All right, I started this one on May 20th. This is from Bent Creek. This is the Noah's Ark mantle. So it was a 3-part original chart. I think it came as a kit. I purchased this off of a seller on Stash Unloading. I thought I was getting just one of the parts and was going to have to go find the other 2. Lo and behold, I had all 3 parts. This is on a piece of... I apparently got very bad about notating. Oh, okay. 18 count mystery Ada from Mystic Fabrics. I think it's close to like a Veterus. And this is what I have so far. Got some monkeys and some alligators going. So again, color completer. So I've, you know, the alligator, that color is the same as these letters. So you put some more time in this. And then this is in, you can maybe hear my dog snoring. Maybe. I'm like, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, dog. This is in a bag I made. Again, using the Helen D tutorial. It's pretty awesome. Now, she makes a slightly larger bag. I seem to like mine to be the exact size, kind of my larger projects. I need to make some smaller ones. All right, this one has been out actually rather recently. This was a start on May 21st. This was a market release in 2020 from Tiny Modernist. This is Love Builds a Happy Home. This is on a 28 count, I think it's just white Monaco, with the called for DMC. So I have the beginnings of the birdhouse. So fun. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Ooh, pardon me. All right. 3 more, I think, to show. All right, next up, I started this one on the 22nd. Another Barbara Anna Designs, a massive. This is all creatures great and small. And as I say, this is a great but not small chart. It's beautiful though. This is on an 18 count from Oksana as well. I needed a larger cut even on the 18 count, and she had this beautiful neutral. And I have quite a bit of that gigantic green hill. It's going to be filled with people and animals and things. So yeah. As you can see, I kind of bounced all over because I got tired of filling in. I came down here and I outlined, and then I've started some fill in. So yeah, that's what I have so far. It's a long-term project, but I love it. Love all the Barbara Annas. Give me all the Barbara Annas. Okay, 2 more. This was my last start of Mania. This is in a bag that I did with some fabric from Joann's. I do not have, there's no like mock-up of this. This was a freebie that came in one of my orders. Stephanie or Steph of Just Keep Stitching has said that Keepsakes has this. I'm not sure where I got this from, but this is from Heartstring Sampler. It's in All Things Be Exceedingly Grateful. It was an extra tacked on at the end. This is on a Seraphim fabric. It's a 36 count linen in Cecil. And I am doing mine with 4 colors of color and cotton. So we've got Pine Tree, Typewriter, Brass, and Rhubarb. So there's my color palette, as you can see. And so there she is, what I have so far. Typewriter is like my most favorite kind of black gray. So yeah. And I'm going to be doing, I think I wrote down what's going to be what. The lettering is going to be in the Pine Tree color. The flowers are in Rhubarb. The skunks and urn are in Typewriter. And any of the greens are going to be in that brass color. So that's what we got. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of linen. I only used half of my Fat 8, then I sold the other half. Because I didn't know that I'd use it again, and I want somebody else to stitch something beautiful. My very last one I'm showing today, I started on June 9th, and I started this as part of hashtag Representation Matters Sal and hashtag Diversity and Inclusion Sal, which are 2 Sals that EJ of Sunshine Stitchers, EJ Creates on Instagram, started. And this lives in my beautiful bag that Mandy made me, my Joy bag. I have 2 of these. You'll see the other one tomorrow. And in it, I have Theresa Kogut's United We Stand. And I actually put in about 50 stitches on this project. One moment, please. Sorry, I had to take that phone call. So again, I started this one as part of those 2 stitch alongs. They are still going on. I put in a few stitches into this. It was the last WIP I needed to have called to finish out WIP Wranglers. And so I did finish WIP Wranglers, by the way. And this is on 27 count Linda, which is like a Lugana even weave, from Be Stitch Me and Through the Stones. I did a little bit of color converting to stash. And here's what I have so far. So it's going to be big, but I love it. Her face is so precious. The little, love it. So yeah. Excited to put some more into that. I love stitching on the even weaves, all the even weaves. So yeah, that really is all I have to share with you for today. Plans for today are, I have one more piece of IKEA furniture to put together. Yesterday I did the big 4x4 cube wall thing. I put together the Alex drawer unit, which is like the little pull-out drawer thing. And I have the table. I have to put 2 legs on it. That's all she wrote in terms of getting those put together and getting those set up in the room. And then I can start putting everything back away. Yep. In other totally different news, I signed up for the vaccine list, and I have been, I meet the criteria currently to get the vaccine, so I am waiting to find out when my appointment time will be. And so yeah, that's super exciting. My parents both have also qualified due to pre-existing conditions. Mine is pre-existing condition and the fact that I am an educator. So yeah, good times. Science rocks. And some people have asked me, well, are you concerned? Are you worried? I said, one, I've done my research in how this works, and I would encourage you to go look into it. It's different than other kinds of vaccinations. And no, I'm not concerned. I'm more concerned about getting the virus, truly. And feel very grateful that I have not, due to protocols that are in place at my work and just being very careful. So with that little tidbit at the end, just for posterity's sake, just if I watch this video back and be like, oh yeah, I talked about that on that day back in 2020 when, everything was whatever. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow will be more WIPs, and then on Thursday I will do a just little check-in, and I'll open 2 yarns. And yeah, so that'll be exciting. And tomorrow, depending upon how long tomorrow's goes, I may or may not chat plans. I might chat plans in that Thursday video. So we'll see. With that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I hope that you're able to get some stitches in, or do some knitting, or watch some Flosstube, or watch whatever you want to watch. Just whatever you want to do. And if you're at work, I'm totally bummed for you. I really am. I wish that everybody was lucky enough to get extra time off around this time of year, especially because some people can't celebrate until, their quarantine are over. I have a few friends that were on quarantine at Christmas. Couldn't even see their kids. Couldn't see their spouses even. They were in a room sequestered. So that's enough of that. I hope you enjoyed seeing all this many WIPs. I'm not sure how many that was. It was a lot. I have a few that I'm going to think about. I have a few that I've got in a pile over here, namely Seeking Solace, I need to work on today. And I need to get some plans together for linens and threads. So with that, I hope you have a fantastic one, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, friends.